Cat hair going on and everything.
What are you missing? Do you know what you're missing? You may be thinking, huh? But I really question you. Do you know what you're missing when you're constantly looking at your phone? You may miss the guy who's running a red light because he's too busy talking on the phone to his oh so important person. You may be focused on your text from your friend that you miss the love of your life sitting right next to you in class. You may be so focused on social media that you missed your test due at 12 o'clock tonight and it's 11:43 because you were too busy refreshing your feed. You may be so into yourself that you're taking the 50th selfie, yet your friends are 5 feet away from you laughing at the joke they just told. But you're so into your phone. It's time to wake up and see what you're missing. Put your phone down. I urge you to really reflect on that. It should be more than just listening to videos on the internet, giving you fact after fact of why you should put your phone down, just on an emotional factor, as if that's not enough. We are not able to fully communicate anymore. And we're so distracted that we neglect the laws of the road and are forced to tickets and suspensions to get through how big of a deal driving and texting or being on your phone really is. We are also allowing poorer grades and declining work ethics. Many of today's teens heavily rely on social networking and social media outlets as a means to connect and express themselves. These electronic devices will never replace the value of face-to-face interactions, as said by Rachel Casada-Lohana in Communication Skills for Teens. The author Michelle Skeen goes on to say in Chapter 7, how many times are you going to see the same familiar face without saying anything? You already know where you share a common interest based upon where you run into this person. We let fear of contact with someone hinder us from making a new connection or relationship. As said in Chapter 8, we have many opportunities to connect, but it can also lead to miscommunication. 72% of teens text regularly, and 1 in 3 send more than 100 texts per day, which is encouraging complete sentences, misspellings, and less face-to-face interactions. She goes on to say, these teens are becoming less comfortable with other forms of communication, all due to the short and simple, mindless texts. I see so many of us looking down at our phones just to see if someone is replying to whatever we just said or posted, rather than giving quality time to those around them, whether they even know them or not. I'm more than just urging you to look up. I'm urging you to put down your phone. It can always wait. According to the law office of Edgar Snyder and Associates, the National Safety Committee reports that cell phone use while driving leads to 1.6 million car crashes a year. I'm just going to let that sink in for you for a couple seconds. But while you think about that, get a load of texting standpoint the law office has to say. Nearly 330,000 injuries occur each year from students caused by texting while driving. 1 out of every 4 car accidents in the United States is caused by texting and driving, and it's 6 times more likely to cause an accident than driving drunk. Now, I know that's a lot of facts to throw at you, but please think about that. Any one of those could be you or a loved one in the blink of an eye. Better yet, in the swipe of a thumb. So close your eyes and picture yourself driving and picking up your phone because your best friend is letting you know how important their day is going. Got it in your hand? Now imagine an average 4,000-pound car slamming your head into the window and your body being thrown in the opposite direction. This is what happens to many people, or worse, they get thrown from their car upon impact from no seatbelt. From the firm again, In 2012, 3,328 people were killed in distraction-related crashes, and about 421,000 people were injured in crashes due to distraction-related crashes, or involving a distracted driver. Why would you want to put your life at risk, your passengers, if you have one, the drivers around you, or your family and friends? And lastly, while companies give out cell phones for business purposes and allow their use of cell phones, many do not and often try banning them. That actually happened in a recent job I've been at. As a server, I've seen on numerous accounts the same people on the same day neglect their tables due to being on some sort of social network. We're often huddled up in the back looking at a new trend or a funny post or picture. Cell phones, for the most part, are no longer productivity tools in business, but rather a major distraction. They promise that they would increase employee productivity has died, and the addiction remains. And that's said by Barry Moltz. He goes on to mention crazy yet important times that he's seen people using their phone on the job. In a single day last week, I observed these employees checking out their phones. A TSA officer while screening passengers in an airport. A retail clerk while checking out a customer at the cash register. A police officer patrolling the city corner in Chicago. And a crossing guard helping children across the street after school. A TSA security officer in an airport? Can we really be safe? Or how about sending your child to school? Mine will be 4 next year, and I know she doesn't always look both ways. And she doesn't really comprehend fully whether or not she should cross the street. We're entrusting these people with our lives. I must ask, was looking at the phone at that time really important? Cell phones in the work distract. They could cause physical issues like getting hurt. They can interrupt at bad times like meetings, and take away from time to do daily tasks. Is whatever you're responding to or just simply looking at that important that it can't wait until after break or work or school? I'm not trying to point blame at anyone listening, because I'm the first to say I am guilty of being on my phone too much. My parents nag at me when I'm around. My boss reminds me. My teachers get aggravated, my friends poke fun at me, but really they're trying to address the issue that I'm on my phone too much and they don't like it. And worse, my daughter begs and craves for the attention. Firsthand, the hardest thing I deal with is how horrible I feel when I'm devoting too much time to my phone rather than my daughter. Per Time magazine, new research shows how cell phone distractions can deprive babies, developing brains of crucial development signals because of dopamine levels. So we give our kids time limits on technology. Why don't we do it for ourselves? I urge you to put your phone down.